All right, let's go on to topic number one. Topic number one for tonight is extreme shipping. Are you less likely to buy because of shipping costs? And we have talked about this topic before with the rising costs of shipping. It is what it is. But I think the reason why we are talking about tonight is kind of it's hitting the fan. We kind of knew it might with the Tweeterhead Joker, the Tweeterhead Joker quarter scale. It's the one back here. He's massive, and people started getting their quotes. And I think it was like what, 300, 350. Did you get your quote, Dan?
I did. $341. Charges tomorrow, actually.
Okay. And so a lot of people are freaking out. They're like, how in the world can they charge that much money for a quarter scale? I will come to the defense of saying that this thing is massive. It is heavy. And so I can see, as somebody that has it, I can see why it's that much. Is it disappointing? Yes. But I can absolutely see, because the base is so massive and heavy. I mean, it's solid.
Is it one box? One box, right?
What I got was a prototype box. So I don't have the actual real art. I would assume it would be very, very similar to what I got, but the box was massive. I mean, it was a big, it's the size of a third scale. Yeah. Okay. And so, for my third scales, I've been charged around that cost for that much. I mean, for that size of box as well. And again, the base is so heavy now. I kind of kept thinking, well, could they have made the base more hollow? Could they have done that? And I think that it just wouldn't have held up because there's so much detail, intricate detail. I think that it needed to be heavy. But this is one of those ones that were like, you need two people to move it. Because, and that really, to me, says why it's $349. With that said, I know a lot of people were very outraged. They were very upset about it. Dan, I know you were disappointed. I know you voiced your disappointment in the price and maybe even considered canceling. What have you decided as of this point?
For the Joker?
For the Joker.
Oh, no, I'm not canceling that one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I've been really looking forward to this one. It's certainly a consideration, the shipping at this point, because when you marry the high shipping costs with the high cost of the statues, then, it can get to be concerning, right? And so it's getting high on both ends. And so, fortunately, I wouldn't consider myself a volume collector. I'm pretty selective these days, but that Joker, I'm really looking forward to. I canceled the Jimenez Prime 1 Joker to get this one. Yeah. I just think that all of those little details and Easter eggs and all that, I just think it looks outrageously good. And when I saw your video, Chris, the close-ups on the chair, the wood, the wood finish on the trim of the chair, and it just looks outrageously good. So no, I'm looking forward to this one. To
me, it's one of those pieces that it's just worth every penny. I mean, it's just, it's so good. Yeah. And this, my plan right now is in the bunker where I have the Bat bike. I'm most likely to have him right beside that and have those be the pair.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And so it's just, it's a special piece, and I don't know if anything like that will ever be done. Obviously there'll be Jokers on throne pieces or whatever, but
yeah, I'm not even.
It's unique.
Guy. I'm really not a throne guy, but I just think that one's special. So we'll see.
Carlos says 280 for me, and I'm only 30 minutes away. So you must live next to Jeff Delaney, hopefully, because I know you guys are so close to Sideshow.
Isn't that crazy though? I mean, West Coast is 280, East Coast is 341.
Yep.
That seems weird to me. That's pretty close.
Well, didn't we say that it's not just the shipping within the U.S.? They also factor in whatever they paid, coming from China and all that stuff.
Sure. I mean, it's all, it's all cost that rolls over. I mean, the company will only eat so much. And Lord knows Chad has eaten some shipping costs. I mean, he has had to pay out of pocket a lot of times for shipping issues. And so, I know for a fact that all these costs are rolled over, not only to them, but then also to the consumer. And I can tell you right now, guys, I've had a lot of conversations with the statue companies. They are not happy with shipping costs because it affects their bottom line. It's like, if somebody sees, well, it's going to be 350, and I'm like, well, F that, I'm going to cancel. Well, that means that they don't have an order now. I mean, it's, but like, This comment, some waitlist conversions are on the horizon, and that absolutely could happen.
That's true. I bet he's absolutely right
Yeah.
about that. That's a good point.
Now the shipping for the half scale Captain America is supposed to be $300.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all to me, because that piece
Now
is
when you
massive.
think about that's 340
Yeah.
for that.
And that is surprising. So I mean, let us know whenever you actually get the quote. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's, close to that. They always seem to have like all of a sudden surplus charges that they add, these little fees.
Well, the shipping was on the order page as anywhere in the US.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
So,
That's awesome.
Batkid Voodoo says shipping for my Guts Armored Rage was nearly $600 to the Northeast from Sideshow.
Wow.
Is that one box, Batkid, or is that two? I wanted to ask, is it worth it to buy XM Studios Batman White Knight? Yes, it is. They're asking $5,000 here in Turkey. I don't know if I don't know if that's 5,000 US. I would not pay 5,000. What did we pay, Dan? Like, was it 3? I can't remember how much it was. Or
With shipping.
yeah, with our $1,000 shipping. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all in it was about 34.
Yeah.
woo!
So I guess 5,000 is not that it's not that off. I
Yeah.
guess if it's 5,000 shipped. But it really just depends on how bad you want it. I mean, if it's worth it to you to spend 5,000, I tell that to people all the time. It's like if it's worth it to you and you can afford it, then go for it. But I feel like that's a little high.
It's ridiculously good.
This Jeff is saying Spec and Open Vault offers free shipping.
Mm.
A lot of companies do on various products. Some offer like a $4 shipping, although they add a lot to the original amount to offset that cost. But
Spec doesn't offer free shipping on everything.
not on everything.
No, not on everything.
Just certain things that we can't talk about here.
Right.
But there's just certain things that they offer that on. So I mean, I'll kind of ask the question, like, is it just? Do you think it's ever going to get better? Like, is it ever going to get better, or is it just where we're at? Like, it's just we have to factor this in every purchase we do. That you just have to expect it. You have to expect it. We can't complain about it because it is what it is.
With the shipping charges or the prices of statues?
I think the shipping charges. I mean, the prices of statues are what they are.
Did you watch the Alex did a recent interview with Ang from XM, and he had asked him, what do you think about like prices of statues going down, and what do you think about shipping costs going down? And he said he doesn't see the prices of statues going down, but he thinks somewhere around like 6 to 9 months we might see a decrease in the shipping charges.
Well, that would be great. I hope he's
That's
right.
That's coming from XM.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's probably spot on. And I haven't seen the interview yet because I was on vacation. I need to catch up. But I think the companies are beholden to the factories, and the factories are charging X amount of dollars. There's only so many painters to go around. There's only so many factories to go around. And so I think that, I don't know. I've talked to companies, and I know that there's a very, very small profit margin after all is said and done. And that's even with the price raise. I mean, the raising of the prices. And I think that they probably know that there's a tipping point. And I think for a lot of us, they're there already.
If it's not there, I think it's teetering on the brake because it's slowed me down. I haven't got anything and don't have the plan, nothing else after that's coming.
Is that because there's not that much interesting to you, or is it strictly based on cost and shipping?
Cost and shipping.
Yeah.
It's just, it's too much. It's to the point of, I think it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm looking at my collection and thinking like, what the hell am I doing at this point? It's like these prices are ridiculous. I'm like, some days I think like, should I just cancel everything and just stop where I'm at right now? And but I don't know. I have a few pieces coming in this year, and then I'm taking a long break until things change. Hopefully. That's kind of
About
why
that
I started doing the Star Wars stuff. It's, I'm picking up a lot of smaller scale stuff. It's cheaper. It's more enjoyable. For the price of one Prime 1 statue, I just got in like 10 different things, and I'm having fun with it. So,
well, I'll promote this again since I did a review today on this. This was sent to me by Iron Studios, and somebody said in one of the comments, are like, if you had not zoomed back out, they would have thought it was a larger scale statue. They would have thought it was a quarter scale, because the paint, I was really impressed with the paint, how good it was.
Yeah.
And so I think that these are definitely good options for people at a much lower price point. And again, I don't know if all the scales that you've talked about, but I know you have, at least in your DC collection, Eric, you've been doing third scales. So going back to quarter scale, sometimes it's kind of refreshing. It's kind of nice to get a smaller box and a smaller footprint,
That's definitely the other thing too, with the boxes.
But you mentioned contemplating canceling everything. I had that feeling yesterday. I was like, it's like screw it, I'm just not going to do it. And then I'm like, oh crap, I'm spending $17,000 on a damn bat bunker that I need to have display, and so it's like,
I mean, even if you took everything you have and put in that room, it's still going to look good if you didn't get anything else.
That's true. And it really does come to a point where, like, when do we just say enough's enough, and when are we going to be happy?
Yeah.
Never.
Always, that's the thing, is there's always that shiny new toy over here.
Yeah.
That we have to play with and want. And so, I mean, that's the way I collect. I know that there's a lot of people that buy and they're real happy with what they have, but I don't know.
It's just ridiculous when it comes down to like $2,000 just to have a 1/3 scale statue shipped to your house. It's like, all right. Wow.
Paula says we can't expect the companies to eat these costs. They are already dealing with many issues. It is what it is. If you want it, you have to pay for the shipping. And again, I know Dan wasn't real happy about the shipping costs, but yet he's still going to get it, right?
This one. And like I said, I mean, I collect far fewer statues today than I did in the past. I just don't collect at all. I don't pre-order at all with the same. I think I've got 5 pre-orders right now. I mean, I just don't do it as much because it's just too much. And there's an element of affordability, but to me, the bigger element for me is just how much money do I want to tie up in collectibles, so there's a priority thing as well, aspect of it. And it's a big difference, when I think back 10 years ago, and this is true of many things, not just collectibles, but when you were buying a premium format for $400 and the shipping was $40 or $60, I mean, that's a far smaller investment than most statues these days.
Yeah. And now you've got, you can't even get that now for $750. The same thing.
It's certainly a lot more, but the quarter scales, Chris, to your point though, are refreshing. I can tell you that.
Well, I know you've been kind of getting back into that because you were kind of going 1/3. I think that if you had more space, you would probably still be doing 1/3 more, but I know that you're limited to where you're at.
I've limited myself to where I'm at.
Right.
I am the limiting factor,
right,
where I'm at, and it's for all those reasons. Because if I had that bat bunker, that would weigh on me.
Yeah, it makes me nervous.
Yeah,
because we talked when I visited your house. It's like the quaintness is nice.
Yep.
And so we were talking at that time. That's something I do worry about.
In the end, you still get a cool room out of it, even if you don't put statues in it. You have a nice,
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
yeah. It's like we can convert that to a theater room or whatever we want to do, and
oh yeah, and I
agree.
We
can drywall in that built-in shelf if we want. I mean, if we wanted to, and do that. But
I agree with Jeff too. That I think you could move in what you have, and it would look awesome.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot to be said for less is more in terms of spacing of statues and that kind of thing as well. But that's personal.
I did the video on hoarding, and it's like it does worry me sometimes because if you get to a certain point where you get so many, and I know for me they've got to be spaced out, they've got to be organized, but there does become a time where, I mean, God forbid that bunker might become full at one point, and then I'm like, well, is that too much? Is it too much, or is it because sometimes space can be great and sometimes it could be a giant hindrance. So. I hear you. What do you think, Jeff? I know you're getting some third scales in, taking up some real estate, you're going to be paying some probably hefty prices for that Hulk shipping. Does that change the way you purchase, or is it just that you limit to what you want and then by God you're going to pay the shipping for it?
No, I mean, well, with that Hulk piece, yeah, I'm gonna pay whatever shipping that's gonna be kind of like the centerpiece of my collection. But no, I could imagine shipping costs completely ruining a statue for me if it was too high. So I certainly wouldn't discount the possibility of canceling something for that reason. But you're more careful. I mean, some sources do offer better shipping than others.
Yep.
So if you know what you're doing, sometimes you can save a considerable amount. So,
especially if you're patient.
Yep.
If you're not wanting to be the first collector out there, I mean, I think I'm the last collector in the world to get this one. I'm pretty sure. But like, if you're willing, there are companies that will ship them 3 or 4 months after everybody else gets them.
yeah.
And if you're willing to wait and they offer free shipping or discounted shipping or $4 shipping, then that's great. Use them where you can. Like, I don't feel like I could do that because I have this channel. So I feel like I've got to get my stuff as quickly as possible and be the, one of the first couple out there. But that's a pressure I put on myself. It's really kind of silly. Because I know you guys are incredible watching on this channel. You guys will watch, regardless. So thank you guys for that. But I think for the average collector, it's okay to wait. It's okay to be patient. And like Mike said, I'm very selective now. I think you have to be. We kid with art statue collector, of course, it seems like he's getting everything in the world. It's like, it's awesome that he can do that. And his incredible gallery. But I think for, obviously for most people, you do have to be selective. And we talked about it on Sunday on my live stream, that how important a focus is sometimes too, that if you don't have a focus, that can sometimes lead to a lot of headaches, especially because not only you're paying the increased prices for the shipping, for the statue, but then also increased pricing for the shipping as well. So I don't know. I mean, I know that Dan, you have a focus. Eric, you had kind of a focus. Now you've added Star Wars to it, kind of. Jeff, your focus was certain things, and now it's kind of on the pieces that you really, really want. I know Jeff Morris, you've slowed down. Do you feel like the focus does help you though? Like, do you feel like it helps kind of rein in not having to spend as much with shipping?
Yeah, I suppose so. I'm simultaneously allowing myself to buy single pieces that I just want, but I also sold my X-Men.
Right.
So yeah, you have to make choices.
Thomas says, with inflation and the price of shipping, the only statue I'm planning to pre-order this year is Sideshow's premium format penguin. That's awesome. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Again, it's easy for us to say that sometimes, but then they're like, squirrel, there's another brand new one here tomorrow that's revealed. Like, okay, now I'm only going to get those 2 this year. Only the 2. And then, no, I'm only going to get these 5 this year. And it could pile on really quickly. But like Jeff said, if you focus and you say, these are the ones I really want, these are the ones I'm pigeonholing for my collection, I think that does help to have some sort of plan, whether it's a focus or a plan or whatever. But anyway, Archangel says, I have the whole basement as my cave. I wish they made statues that were 6 weeks safe. Almost too much of anything in life can become problematic. Well said.
True.
Snap says Mr. Freeze cost $158 to ship and $300 custom, so $458 for it to get to me. So again, that's eBay. That's a lot. That's a lot for a premium format. Zippo says, I don't think the price will go down. I think it's even I can't read that. I think it's more expensive each year. If it's going like this, the fun will be over. I don't know how much longer do you think we got, guys, with the prices? I mean, do you think? I mean, I know the companies are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like they're going down, so I don't know.
What do you think it'll be like in 10 years?
Hopefully, it just doesn't keep going up.
I'll be happy to be alive in 10 years. So
That's right. That's true. That's true.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.